All right, we coming back at you. This is Jay from K&J from What 5HD channel on YouTube. Coming at you live, man. What the what stands for World Health Academia and Times. Those 5 H's. When you're dealing with the truth, where the truth is hard, the truth hurts, the truth helps, the truth is healthy, and it heals. And that's what we are, man. And we really need that in the day and time that we're in today, because of our political climate, because of our religious and spiritual so-called leaders, and our politicians and elected officials and what have you, law enforcement. You all the likes, man. You know, we got people all over the place coming against each other. We living in a land to where we say it's a land of opportunity and liberty, and we have we're being told that we have none of that. And in some cases, people see it. In other instances, people don't see it. So, you know, we all over the place. You know, we got Republicans doing one thing, we got Democrats doing another thing. You know, we got the believers feeling a certain way, we got the non-believers feeling another way. We just all over the place. Well, unlike this place that we call Sodom and Gomorrah, they tried to come together as a people, one people. They had a false sense of hospitality, but it was a place of no mercy. They showed no mercy. Most of the time, no empathy. Everything was falsehood. They thrive off just evil and wickedness. Their entertainment was to see the demise and people to literally lose their lives. I mean, Sodom was a very, very cunning place to be. Sodom and Gomorrah, a very, very cunning place. They had a king, they had kings. The king of Sodom his name was, if I'm not mistaken, it was Bera. And the king of Gomorrah was Bersha. And even their names, man, like the Hebrew meaning name of Bersha is evil, or the son who beholds, or remember. It's when your name is attached to evil, so that lets you know even the kings in those places, they were in their right perspective place. They were operating as their name suggested that they were. That's what they were doing in a place of a rebellious people. And like I said, it was a very, very cunning place to be in. And I can see that in today's time. So many things are occurring. It's like, you know, you have an example of a person that you don't like, and you try to belittle this person and make this person to be this great, wicked or mean, or a person with a like or sympathy for anything or anybody. And you will see that. And at the same time, when you look back and you reach back at these people that was in these same positions, they all have done and do the same. But it's the one that you are made to be attached to, and the one that you are made to accept, and the one that you are made to embrace and love. And then you might have one that you are made to reject, one you are made to hate, one you are made to not even want to become a part of anything that has to do with that particular person or entity, man. But it's the same spirit working in all of them. This is Sodom and Gomorrah all over again, man. You know, a very cunning place. And it's a place of where people are double-minded. And that's real talk right there. That people are double-minded in all their ways. Yeah, that's what James said. James 1:8 tells you the double-minded man. I'm just saying. So we're going to get right back to it. Let's get right back to it. And then I'm going to go straight back into these studies, man, because this is part 2 of what we just ended. And then we want to keep it moving. And we're going to try to dig in a little bit deeper, because I still got a lot to say about this Sodom and Gomorrah issue, because we're here today. Okay, let's go right back to Genesis. We're at Genesis 19 and 24. We're going to start right back where we left off. It say, then the Lord, or the Spirit of God, rained on Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstones of fire from the Lord out of heaven. So here we go. There was fire, the brimstone, the fire. He rained on it, right? And fire is a representation of love and jealousy, right? And you would say, well, okay, then, well, how does that pertain to Sodom and Gomorrah? Well, here's the deal. He rained down fire on Gomorrah. He rained down on Gomorrah. They were already a rebellious people, right? And this thing is what they had embraced. So they loved being that way. They loved and embraced who they were as a people, as a nation, as a city. They embraced it. And the Most High, being the jealous God that He is, they didn't want to repent. So they serving other gods. I mean, they literally serving other gods. It's not even as much as just rejecting the Most High. It's more of tapping into these wicked spiritual beings and spiritual entities, man. They actually push forward to invite those particular spirits into their home, their life, their nation, their city, and they embraced it with child sacrifice and just the murder and the demise and taking the lives of people, man. It was just a common thing. It was so common to them. Even like when I shared with you, they have these festivals 4 times a year where the husbands and wives would share each other back and forth, man, right out in public, in the open. This thing here was common. So now let's go back to Genesis 19 and 25. It said, and he overthrew those cities and all the plains and all the inhabitants of the cities and that which grew upon the ground. But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. His wife, who wife? Lot's wife. She looked back. Why did she look back? Why did she look back? Because more than likely she had a spiritual connection. She had a connection with Sodom. She had a connection with Sodom and Gomorrah. That was her place. She embraced that place. That's why she looked back. She looked back. And the thing about it is, the people in Sodom, they really honored power over truth. It was it was for them just to have the power to do the things that they were doing, and the power over the influence of people, having people to act and react just as the leaders of those cities commanded them to do. They indulged in every way. Remember what I'm saying. They are acting and reacting according to their leaders, or those that lead them would actually instruct or tell them to do. We are here in the same. We in the same place right now today. We do all of those same things. We do all of those same things, right? Oh, yes, we do. Yes, we do. And we would like to say that no, man, Sodom and Gomorrah was really worse than where we are today. Well, I'm not sure if I would say that. I'm not sure if I would say that. I want to read something for you. If you don't mind, Can you guys go with me to Ezekiel? Go to Ezekiel, the 16th chapter. And, okay, I'm going to read 45 through 50. Go to me. Go with me to Ezekiel, the 16th chapter. I'm going to read 45 through, well, I said 50. I might read a little bit more than that, but I want to show you something because we are, in the church or the building, we've all heard of this Sodom and Gomorrah story or event. I hate to call them stories. So I'm saying event, where we mostly kind of concentrated on the sexual immorality of this particular city or place, and which is true. It's true. But there was more to Sodom and Gomorrah, like I keep telling you, it's more to Sodom and Gomorrah, way more to it than what we hear on those Sunday morning sermons. Okay, let's check this out. Ezekiel 45. It's 16 and 45, the 16th chapter, the 45th verse. And it reads, Thou art thy mother's daughter, and loaded her husband and her children, and thou art the sister of thy sisters, and loaded their husbands and their children. Your mother was a Hittite, and your father an Amorite, and thy elder sister a Samaria. She and her daughter that dwell in thy left hand, and thy younger sister dwelleth in thy right hand, and Sodom and her daughters. Yet hast thou not walked after their ways, nor done their abominations? But if that were a very little thing, thou wast corrupt more than they in all of thy ways. As I live, saith the Lord God, or the Creator God, Sodom thy sister has not done, she nor her daughters, as thou hast done, and as thy daughters. See? Far worse place. This Ezekiel now talking about Sodom. But he's talking to the people in his time and in his era though. But so that lets you know things has progressively gotten worse. As we always look at Sodom and Gomorrah being the worst of worst, but this thing has progressively gotten worse, even in Ezekiel day. And then 48 said, 16 to 49, it said, behold or remember, this was the iniquity of thy sister Sodom. Pride, fullness of bread, and abundance of idleness were in her and her daughters. And neither did she strengthen the hand of the poor and needy. See, there was more things going on in Sodom and Gomorrah than just sexual immorality. He just said it right here. He said it was pride, which we have today, the fullness of bread. Okay, that's word, and that was deceitfulness, though. It was deceitful. And an abundance of idleness in her and her daughters. Everybody in the nation. The daughters represent the spirit. The daughters represent a spirit. That's the spirit within. Okay? And neither did she or that spirit strengthen the hand of the poor or the needy. And the poor are the ignorant and the sick, the dumb. See, when we think of poor, we always looking at of course, I understand the English meaning of poor is a lack of wealth or money or monies or what have you. But I'm dealing with spiritual meaning, poor meaning ignorant and sick and dumb. They had an abundance of the bread. They had it, but they didn't have nothing for the poor or the needy. Nothing. We're not teaching you nothing. We need you to be idle. We need you to be foolish. We need you on this. They say they had the fullness of bread, but they had the abundance of idleness. See, they had all the information, but The information that was good was being withheld and kept. It's just like the double-tongued man, just like that serpent. So in today's time, the same thing. They lead us to believe that this thing that's going on in our nation is a new thing. It's not a new thing. They just doing it different. You know, all these movements that they got going on, man, fake movements, man. This Black Panther, like I said, this Black Panther Party dude, I hope the Gen Zers and the millennials, I hope y'all don't fall for this dude. This dude is a plant. More than likely, he's been planted by the government because we want chaos and we want anarchy in this nation. See, the more we can get this nation to act in the way that it's heading right now, which is civil unrest, we already got the moral decay. So now we get civil unrest and everything just goes wild. Then we can come in and lock this government down like we need to. We think it's just the image in the White House that want this thing to happen. Man, this is a collective decision. This thing is togetherness. You got some over here to get your attention away from this. And then just as sure as tomorrow or next week come, we're gonna have a new thing that we fighting against or fighting for, and it's all gonna be headed toward the same goal. The same goal. And yeah, and with the concerning that Black Panther guy, now Huey Newton's daughter, she got up and made a post and said, "Hey, this dude has nothing to do with what my father was starting. Nowhere close to it."
I'm going to try to make this video as calmly as possible. My name is Maisha Newton. My father's name was Walter Newton. He was the brother of Huey Percy Newton, who started the Black Panther Party in Oakland, California. Okay? My handle name is Maisha 415 Newton. If you don't believe me, we just came out with the second book, The Roots of the Revolutionary Suicide. This is the roots of Huey P. Newton, okay? That's my father, okay? These are our grandparents, okay? There go Huey right there, okay? I got birth certificate, paperwork, and a whole bunch of Newtons who are ready to... Listen, this goes out to the Black Panther Party, the new United Black Panther Party, whoever's out there protesting with these Somalians. I'm about to get a cease and desist order against you, and I'm about to sue you. Because you guys are... You are not going to defame my uncle's name like that. We're not doing that. See you in court, bitches.
And I'm about to go after him for using the Black Panther Party's image and name to try to, and the only thing they're trying to do is provoke. Look, I'm talking to my community now. We've been oppressed so long, man. Anything that sounds close to racism or anything that sounds close to like it might be coming against something or which is black, and we make it a racist issue, we get emotional, we get toe up, we ready to run, we ready to fight, we ready to do whatever until somebody in our neighborhood do something to one of us. Then all of a sudden we get crickets. Everything is quiet. Everything is quiet. Oh, unless a white cop kills somebody black, then we get to fighting again and running and screaming and shouting, man. That's the same thing, man. That's that fake hospitality like we really care, or the empathy like we really care, and then it goes to no mercy. It's no mercy, man. It's the same thing that's going on right here. So that was their sin. Their sin was pride. It said right here in Ezekiel. It was beyond sexual immorality. Behold, this was the iniquity of thy sister Sodom. Pride, fullness of bread, and abundance of idleness in her and her daughters. Neither did she strengthen the hand of the poor and needy. And they were haughty and committed abomination before me. Okay, now we write at that sexual immorality, but they named a lot of things that was going on in that place. And they say, therefore I took them away as I saw good. So I got rid of them as I saw good. They, you know what? I didn't need them around me. That was their sin. Sodom and Gomorrah had a whole lot more going on it. And see, and a lot of times our reading be surface level, and we do so much surface level reading, we do ourselves no good. Because we like the charismatic teacher, man. We like that preacher that sound like Drushy was doing. And we like that. We do. We like it, man. I mean, when you look at that skit that he did, it's every bit of what I see most all pastors and preachers doing. And like I say again, you can call him marking God, and that's fine. That's fine. He wasn't only marking God. He was marking some pastors too. So don't just put God in there. He was marking some pastors too. Because that's exactly what they do. That's exactly how they act. And what some of the stuff he was saying is exactly what I've heard. I'm not saying what you, I'm telling you what I've heard. Now you can change it around and make it personal, or you can get sensitive about it, or you want to get quote unquote, so I guess spiritual about it, and get in your feelings about what he did. He did what he see and what he saw. And most millennials, like I say, and Gen Z are seeing, they see the same thing. Man, they see all that gyration and all that stuff they be doing, man. Everything he did, he imitated what another pastor did in the church. Illusion. Idol worshiping other gods, not the Most High. Sacrificing their children. That's right. Leading their children through the fire. These are some of the sins. Check this out. Go to Matthew 11 and 23. And I'm going to read 23 and 24. Just go to Matthew's. And let's see what Yeshua think about this. And thou, Capernaum, which are exalted into heaven, shall be brought down to hell. For if the mighty works which have been done in thee had been done in Sodom, it would have remained unto this day. Huh? Boy, what a compare. Did y'all get that? I'm reading in Matthew 11 and 23, man. I'm going to say this again. This is Yeshua, and he getting on these folks' case because he stayed on their case because they stayed messy. And thou, Capernaum, which are exalted unto heaven, you exalting yourself, you haughty, shall be brought down to hell. We're going to bring you down. He said, for if the mighty works which have been done in thee, which have been done in thee, had been done in Sodom, it will remain until this day. So in other words, what he just said, what you're doing is far worse than what they were doing in Sodom and Gomorrah. So get off that haughty horse, man. Get off of it. As if we doing so much today. It ain't gonna ever be a place worse than Sodom and Gomorrah. That's not the way Ezekiel saw it. That's not the way I read it when I read in Ezekiel. That's not the way I'm reading it here in Matthews when Yeshua is talking to the people from Capernaum. They already haughty, exalted in their own hearts. This is what he said in 11 and 24. But I say unto you that it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom in the day of judgment than for thee. See, I'm telling you it's worse. Joshua told you it's worse, and it's getting worse, and it's not going to get better. So quit allowing people to lead you every which way. Quit being double-minded. Quit going to and fro, being tossed with every wind and doctrine. Quit doing it. Don't do that. Don't just stop it. You out here running around thinking you're doing something right, and you all in the wrong places. You fight more for what we see in the streets than what you should be fighting for in your own salvation, your own spirit, your own Christ consciousness, your own energy, the frequencies. You out there putting out those frequencies. I mean, it's like you out here protesting and throwing and spitting and cussing and rebelling and rejecting and you think that's good energy? I'm not talking against the protests either. I'm really not. But it's all about the way you carry yourself and go about these protests, man. You need to stop it. You need to quit letting people lead you and guide you any kind of way. Quit making these people your God. You believe everything they say. whether it be a news analyst or whatever. I don't care what news either. Don't come to me with no different news. I don't want to hear about it because they all in cahoots too. I don't care if it's CNN, MSNBC, ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox News. We can go on and on. I don't care. They leading you down to your demise. Stick your head in a and learn. Matter of fact, learn some history. As you do your spiritual journey and your travels, learn history so you can see how this thing came to be, how we got to where we are right now. The so-called founding fathers of this nation, they called it this nation, and the so-called founding fathers, they said it's supposed to be a separation of church and state, but that's not true. You might try to operate like that, but that's not true. And if that be the case, that it actually was a separation of church and state, then why did that reverend lady run all those people up in that man's building to protest? It's not a separation of church and state. That's an illusion. And they did that for a reason, because they knew history. They knew the power that the church had over the state or the kings, and vice versa. It was a fight back and forth. Sometimes the king had power over the church, but ultimately the church had power over the king, because the king can be discommunicated or excommunicated. The Pope can excommunicate the king, and if the king got excommunicated from church, then the people didn't look on him really good. So he had to be a fake, just not to get excommunicated. It's fake. All this stuff is fake. Put your head down and get some real teaching going on, man. All this charismatic teaching, all this gyration. And then Drewski do a skit and you don't like it. And then the people run up in the church and you don't like it. Well, they was protesting outside. You was all right with it. Or you was all right with it until they ran in the building in, right? Okay, well, they finna take the building over. Trust me. And right now, you really a part of it. If you support it, you're a part of it. You're going to be right there with it. Whatever the news media say, and whichever way they drive you, that's the way it goes. Quit being double-minded. I'm in James now. I'm in James, the first chapter, and I'm gonna read 6 and 7 and 8. But before I read 6 and 7 and 8, listen to what James say when he opened up. This is the book of James. This is the first chapter. First chapter, verse 1. James, a servant of God and of the Lord Jesus Christ, or Yahshua. That's that spirit, Christ. And look what he say. To the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greetings. So now I just wrote a letter. I presented myself. I told you who I am. This is James, who was the brother of Christ, or Yahshua at that time. He said, I'm a servant of God and of the Lord, or the Creator, Christ. Then he'll tell you who he writing to. To the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greetings. That means now they've been scattered everywhere. Greetings. He wrote it to the 12 tribes, or did he write it to the whole world? Did he write it to everybody? Oh man, what you trying to make this now? A Jew and a Gentile? I had once somebody say, well, there was no Jew nor Greek, nor bondsman, nor free, and no Gentile, and da-da-dee, and da-da-da, and they just going on and on. It's a spiritual. Now, see, what we got now is we got a spiritual Israel. It doesn't make sense. Stop it. First of all, understand that Israelites were a people and not a land. Let's get that straight first. When you think of Israel or Israelite, Israel was a person. A person being Jacob, name changed to Israel. The Israelites were his descendants. They were people. Israel was never a land. Jerusalem is the land. James said he wrote to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. That means this letter is not to everybody. So that's what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. You can't run with everybody. You think you're doing a just thing that's because all of a sudden now you've been struck emotionally. Oh, this is just the right thing to do. But when it was other people getting dog sick on them and water sprayed on them, wasn't nobody around. Did nobody have no empathy then? Now all of a sudden you got a whole group of people got empathy. Oh man, you can't do them like that. You can't be corny and doing them like this and doing them like then they'll lie to you and you don't do no investigative work. You just gone on believe the lie. Now you mad, you upset. You don't even know what you're mad and upset about. James wrote to the church. No, he didn't. See there. I did see. That's what I'm saying. But see, we can do that. James wrote to the 12 tribes that were scattered abroad. But you will get it. James wrote to the church. That ain't what it said. It said he wrote to the 12 tribes that were scattered abroad. And this is what he said in verse 6. But let him act in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavered is like the wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. Don't be wavery in your faith and what you proclaim and what you fight and contend for. Understand what you're doing. Understand what the fight is about. Don't be tossed to and fro because someone has made you emotional. Oh, this is a black thing. This is a race thing. Oh, this is a white thing. This is a gender thing. This is all over the place. Tossed to and fro. Don't know what to fight for. And when it's time for you to fight and contend for your faith, then we're lost because we're so tied up in learning this other wickedness and these doctrines of devils that's being rained down. And we gobbling it up. We consuming it. We communing with them. And now we become them. And 7 say, for let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. A double-minded man is unstable in some of his ways. No, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Let's get back to Genesis 19. Let's see who else could possibly have been a double-minded person. Let's see. Let's just see. Could it have been Lot? Could it have been his daughters? Could it have been his wife? We'll just see here. Now, we're going to go into Genesis 30. And it's saying Lot went out of Zoar, which is the city called Little. It's a small city. And dwelt in the mountains, and his 2 daughters with him. For he feared to dwell in Zoar, that he might dwell in a cave, and his 2 sisters. Now he's scared to go to Zoar. That's first he asked, could he go there? His wife then already turned around and be what? And become what? And become what? A pillar of salt. She turned around and become a pillar of salt. See, Lot wife was double-minded in her ways, man. You know, and if you notice, have you ever paid attention to this? That we talk about Lot, if we talk about Abraham, we talk about Sarah, right? We talk about Isaac, we talk about Rebecca, right? We talk about Jacob, then we talk about Leah, we talk about Rachel. We talk about all the names of the people. But have you noticed? Did it ever occur to you that when we talk about Lot, what is Lot's wife's name? What is Lot's daughter's name? Because they always good old name. They give you the name. Why all of a sudden it's just Lot? His wife nameless, his daughter nameless. What's that? What is that about? What is that about? He became a pillar of salt. See, salt does a couple of things. Salt is a flavor or savior. A salt is also a preservative. Cause you know, like back in the day, I know whenever they killed an animal or slaughtered an animal, I'll say, and they try to preserve it, they'll put salt all over it. It's preserved. It'll stalemate it. It'll make it stick and stay and don't spoil. It'll hold it in a spot. So that pillar of salt that she was, it just preserved that same mind, that same mindset that she had all the time. That same mindset, it was preserved right there in her, and it was made a monument so you can look on it and think about it and see it, and you can see what that's all about. Because that double-minded, when she turned to look back, she looked back. You being dragged forward. So are you being dragged from your destruction, or are you running to your salvation? Do somebody have to drag you from your destruction, or are you running to your salvation? Did you get that part? Do somebody got to drag you? So if someone has to drag you, like the angels had to drag Lot, his daughters, and his wife, then maybe you should think something is, whatever you're being drugged from, you might still have an attachment to it. And Lot had normalized everything that he had witnessed. He was a compromiser. He tried to give his daughters over to the men of the city. Then he told the men of the city, take them. They have never known a man, because they wanted to know the two visitors. But he said, take my daughter. They never known a man. And then all of a sudden we show up that they had husbands. I mean, just all over the place. And when you read this, and a lot of times we just read, I'm telling you just to be reading, but do we really catch what we're reading? Because if we catch what we're reading, it'll give us a general idea of where we need not be, or where we don't need to go. The things we need to stay away from. The things we need to learn from just looking and witnessing what happened in real life time with someone else. So, Lot's wife had a connection with Sodom. It actually said that she probably was actually a citizen of that place. So Lot married into that mess. And then his daughters married into that mess too with them son-in-law, because you notice the son-in-law, they weren't trying to hear it. They didn't turn around. They didn't come. They didn't go with Lot. They stayed. They liked where they were. And then, a lot of times you can be in a place so long and you become comfortable in it. It's just like in our neighborhood, we become comfortable, man, that all these young men and all these young women come up missing. And not just come up missing because somebody taking them, man. I don't want to hear that part right now. We talking about somebody taking them away, or ICE gonna get them, and all. We talking about all the wrong things. I'm talking about them taking each other away. We talking about two different things now. Why don't you have that same energy? We should have it every day. If that be the case, we should be protesting every day. So get out of the streets, man. That's all I'm saying, because you faking. Because if you really care, you take care of your house first. It's just a form of hospitality. You're doing the same thing they did in Sodom. Jesus said it was going to be far worse. He said Sodom and Gomorrah be more tolerable than what we living in today. And it's true. All right, let's come on down, because I'm finna go somewhere else, man. We ain't done. We're gonna keep digging in. We're gonna dig our heels on in some further, man. Come on. So now they in Zor, right? And now he's in the mountains with his two daughters. His wife done already forfeited herself because she didn't really want to leave. That was the place that she was most comfortable in. That she knew that place. I mean, so she was looking back on things that was wicked. Somebody trying to take her and save her, trying to bring her to salvation. No, she's looking back to the wicked. Come on now. And now here we go. Lot in the cave with his two daughters. Let's see what happened then. We at Genesis 19 and 31. It say, and the firstborn said unto the younger, our father is old, and there is not a man in the earth to come unto us in the manner of all the earth. They thinking everybody gone. Come, let us make our father drink wine. Here we go. This type of faith thing. Let's get him to believe. And we will lie with him, that he may preserve seed of our father. Come on, let's convince him. of this new thing. What new thing? Where did they learn that from? Where did they learn that from? To where they had this wonderful idea to lie with their father to preserve a seed, so their father or their seed could go on, because all the other men are gone now. The so-called husbands or the son-in-law, they decided they weren't coming with them. Lot was out there lying, talking about, they never knew a man. So now they finna go and do this thing with their father. Wow. Okay. 1933 said, and they made their father drink wine that night. Ignorance, night, darkness. No knowledge. Foolish, ignorant. They made their father drink wine, learn that foolishness, and the firstborn went in and laid with her father, and he perceived not when she laid down, nor when she arose. So he don't know none of that. And it came to pass on the morrow that the firstborn said to the younger, now he's telling the younger sister, behold, I lay yesternight with my father. Let us make him drink wine this night also, and go thou in and lie with him, that he may preserve seed of our father, that we may preserve seed of our father. And they made their father drink wine again that night. Ignorance, a type of faith that's just foolish, ignorant. And the younger arose and lay with him, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. No, I mean, Lot he just unaware of all this stuff. Thus, check what happened. Thus were both the daughters of Lot with child by their father. Now they done birthed something. That's what Drewski said. You got a baby. I'm gonna impregnate you. I'm just talking. Okay. Genesis 19:37. And the firstborn bare a son and called his name Moab. And the same is the father of the Moabites to this day. And the younger, she also bare a son and called his name Benjamin. The same is the father of the children of Ammon until today. So that's that's the descendants of the Amorites. Now we got the Moabites and we got the Amorites. Come from Lot and his daughters. Yes. That sounds like some Sodom and Gomorrah stuff. That sounds like some stuff they drug out of the city with them. It was still in their hearts. Their mind was one way, but their heart was another way. In their minds, they had fled and left Sodom and Gomorrah, but in their hearts, they were still present in that city and operating in it, just as they had been operating in it, I would suggest to you. Because this was easy for them to do. It was just as easy for them for Lot to compromise his daughter, that they sleep with his daughter or take his daughter rather than take the angels of God or the visitors. I'm telling you, man. So the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, it was not only a judgment, but it was a form of cleansing. The destruction of the city, it was just not just judgment, or for the council's sake, or to teach sound doctrine, or truth. It was a form of cleansing. That truth will be made known with that city anytime that you go against anything that the Spirit of the Most High God has declared, in the form of that cry that he heard, that form of wickedness, that sin, that evil that cried out from Sodom. It's a form of cleansing that goes on with that. That's what was happening. He was cleansing the earth of that particular activity. And today, we're just as worse. Yeshua said it. Ezekiel said it. That even Sodom can't even compare to what we do today. I'm here to tell you, or to ask you, I'll say, can you find 10 righteous people in your city? Are you the gatekeeper? Are you the gatekeeper of your city? You get to choose what's right and what's wrong, how things goes. Lot was sitting at the gate when the angels showed up, or the messengers of God showed up. And quickly he tried to hide them. He didn't want them to see. What is it that he wanted to hide? Remember Sodom, place of secret? Get it? Place of secret. Get it? Is it coming to you now? Is it coming full circle? Are we getting it now? Even to you that don't believe, like I always say, the scriptures, you are not going to get away from what we're discussing here ever. There's no way you can get away from it because it's recorded in other places, on other form of documents. Can't get away from it. All the nations know. All the nations have heard. And some even had the chance to witness it. And when they witnessed it, they wrote down what they saw. They wrote down what they heard. You can't get away from it, whether you believe it or not. My brother, Minister Jones, wrong is wrong if everyone is doing it, and right is right if no one does it. You can't get away from it. You want to find your own form of righteousness? You want to find your own form of wickedness? The young lady suggested that homosexual acts was never recorded in the scriptures. That's right. And she went viral and had thousands and thousands and thousands of viewers that went along with that same garbage. She threw it out there, but she's never read it. Why? Because she's never connected with the building because she was injured. And then even if she went to the building, they don't even teach it right. Lost. No spiritual understanding or spiritual meaning or nothing. But one thing I do know how, and one thing I will strive to do, is to grow this building, to grow my congregation, to teach them giving. Giving what? The giving of their finance, the giving of their time, and the giving of their talent. To do what? To achieve what? Just your sacrifice, that's your way? That's how you get there? That's how you please the Most High? That's how you gain that Christ consciousness? That spirit that was at the beginning, the very beginning? Where Yeshua was a man, but the spirit that was in him, Christ, that same spirit that was in the prophets, Christ, that same spirit that was in most of the writers, Christ, that consciousness from the beginning. These events has been told in all cultures, times, nations, people, recorded. Different names, it makes sense. Different names, we watched it right here in scripture where a name been changed. Daniel's name and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, their names were changed when they went to Babylon. Daniel's name was changed when he went to Babylon, but he was still Daniel, but he was called a different name. I'm saying all that for a reason. Study, search, make this thing right. Lot's wife was not destroyed in Sodom. Lot's wife was not destroyed in Sodom. It was destroyed on her way out. Let that sink in. She was not destroyed in Sodom. She was destroyed on her way out. Let that sink in. She was almost saved. She was almost saved. Them that endure to the end, the same are saved. Those that endure to the end, the same are saved. She was on her way out. She turned around to watch the destruction of it. And there she was preserved from looking back on that thing that she was still attached to. Not in her mind, but in her heart. So we've done a lot in dealing with this Sodom and Gomorrah thing. I just need you guys to be mindful that this is real, that you are actually in a place now where Yeshua said even Sodom and Gomorrah would be more tolerant. It would be more tolerable, I'll say. It would be more tolerable in that day than it is today. We live in a wicked time. This is a very wicked generation. Is there 10 in your city righteous? Is there 10 in your community righteous? Is there 10 in your government righteous? Probably. Hardly. Scarcely. How did you become a senator in 2018 and in 2025 or 2026? I'll say no. Come on in. How do you become worth $30 million unless something crooked is going on? And I'm going to ask you the question, how do you follow that person? How do you allow that person to persuade you to do these devious acts, having you thinking that it is honorable and right? Is it something like Sodom and Gomorrah, to where they are actually closer to holding power more than bringing truth, closer to holding power more to than bringing truth? Would that be the case? Is that it? Where mercy is a crime? Is that it? Well, these are questions that I put out and it'll give you something to actually kind of think about, kind of elaborate on within yourself. So here's the deal. We live in where most people are Abraham on Sunday, but they Lot through the week. Abraham petitioning the Most High. Don't destroy the city for the lack, even if it's just 10 righteous, which I know we pushing buttons now because they're probably not gonna find it, but right now I'm petitioning you now. So that's Abraham on Sunday, but it's Lot through the week. I'm gonna compromise my daughter. I'm gonna go out and lie to the people. I'm gonna try to get the messengers of God in and out of this place as quick as I can, because I don't want him to see how we operate. And I have been compromising. I haven't been petitioning God to save this city. I just been living in this city. Even when it's time for me to leave the city, I have to be literally drugged out of the city. And then I go and make children with my daughter. So are you Abraham on Sunday? And I'm definitely using Sunday. I may as well go ahead and throw Saturday in there too. Are you Abraham on Saturday and Sunday? Or Sunday? And Lot through the week? That's the question that we ask ourselves. And we try to find ourselves saying that we are and attempting to be that Abraham that's slowly growing into the person and the man that the Most High expected and intended him to be when he said, I will make a mighty nation out of you. I can go on and say a lot more about this, but my main thing is to tell you that don't think that you're in a better place and a better time than Sodom and Gomorrah, because you're not. If you believe scripture, it says you're not. And it's beyond the sexual immorality that we've been taught on Sundays. It was because of pride, haughtiness. They rejected the poor. And then when I'm saying poor, I'm talking about the poor in spirit. I'm not talking about nobody about no money. Not in this land, because you can make money in this land, everybody. And as a matter of fact, and some of the people that we've been protesting for and fighting for, they got all the money. So when I say poor, I mean through ignorance and foolishness. They're poor in spirit. For Yeshua said, the poor will be with us always. So you guys that are rich in knowledge, rich in spirit, it's time to stand up. Teach the truth. Quit thinking about the money. The money is why Drewski made his skits. And Gen Z and the millennials can relate to him. They tired of that mess. Get to some real substance. Can't nobody ask you no question in the building. Dictator. And you want to say it's a dictator in the White House? Well, it's a dictator in your house. That house you may visit, or that building you may be visiting. You think about it. I'm going to close on that note. To the end, we're going to say thank you for tuning in. We're going to have another mystery builder. We're going to have Kay, Meal of the Day. We're also asking you to subscribe to this channel, please. Hit that notification button and like the post. And then comment. Always welcome. We thank you so very much for taking this journey with us. I try not to hit you with a whole lot, but some of this, I can't get you all the spiritual meanings because I don't want one to be so overwhelmed and it starts to become confusing. So that's why I say this is a journey. We're going to slow walk it. The last post I didn't do a whole lot of spiritual meaning to that. And the things I do, trust me, they are intentional. It's intentional. I'm allowing the Most High to use me as He used me. It's intentional. Because I understand that I'm not speaking to scholars. I might be speaking to babes. I might be speaking to people that only know surface level. So I have to come to you as if I'm dealing with one that needs to be addressed on that same level. I need to come to you where you are, trying to meet you where you are. And for those that are astute, it's still something in it for you. You check out these spiritual meanings and you start doing your research and your studies, and you'll understand there's a whole lot more in it for you. That's if you put your head in your studies. We thank you. Man, appreciate you so much for all your time. Don't take it lightly. This is Jay again from K&J What 5HT channel. I'm about to sign out, and like I always say, what the flux. I'm out of here.
Hold on, you're telling me they didn't build this temple?
Not even close. They didn't stack stones. They carved straight down into a mountain. From the top, into a single solid rock.
You mean Kailasa Temple?
The very one. Over 90 feet tall, but none of it was assembled. They removed more than 200,000 tons of stone. Without machinery, without steel cutters. And what they revealed is insane.
The towers, the halls, the statues?
All one piece. Not built. Exposed. Walk inside and you'll see elephants, columns, shrines, a central tower. Every detail carved with surgical precision, and it survived over 1,000 monsoons like it was nothing.
But who recorded how they did it?
That's the thing. No one. No blueprints, no timeline, no ancient texts, just the finished temple, as if it appeared fully formed.
So what are we looking at? A miracle? A mathematical masterpiece?
Or evidence that someone, thousands of years ago, understood stone and geometry in a way we still don't.